are the complementarity determining regions are the part of the variable chains in immunoglobulins and T cell receptors generated by B cells and T cells respectively. So the set of CDRs, it constitute a paratome, and most variable parts of the molecule CDRs are crucial to the diversity of antigen specificities generated by lymphocyte. So there are three CDRs named as or numbered as CDR1, CDR2 and CDR3. Now, since the antigen receptors are typically composed of two variable domains, here make it clear that antigen receptors means the antigen binding region of the immunoglobulin or antibody molecule. So, antigen receptors are typically composed of two variable domains on two different polypeptide chain, that is heavy chain and light chain. There are 6 CDRs for each antigen receptor that can collectively come into contact with the antigen. So whenever there is the interaction of the antigen with that of the antigen receptor of the immunoglobulin or antibody molecule, it comes in contact with the 6 CDRs. Okay. A single antibody molecule has two antigen receptors and therefore contains 12 CDRs total. So 6 on one antigen receptor, 6 on another antigen receptor. So 6 multiplied by 2. So there are total 12 complementarity determining regions on each antibody molecule. Okay, is it clear? This is the simple calculation if you go into the structural details of the antibody molecule. Okay. Okay. So there are 3 CDR loops per variable domain in antibodies. Now coming to the IgM molecule. Now usually IgM molecules are pentameric. So as these are pentameric, there are 10 antigen binding sites or 10 antigen receptor. Now each antigen binding site or receptor is having 6 CDRs. So overall 10 into 6, there are 60 CDRs can be found on a pentameric IgM molecule. So obviously if there is a dimeric antibody molecule, that is in case of IgA, what will be the count of the CDRs? If there is dimeric, अगर पेंटामेरिक है तो वहां पे 60 CDRs आ रहे, 10 into 6. अगर डायमेरिक है तो कितने आएंगे? 12 into 5, 60. तो यहाँ पे 12 into 2 कितने आएंगे? 24 CDRs. Yes, 24 CDRs will be present in the dimeric antibody molecule. So depending on whether the antibody molecule is monomeric, dimeric or pentameric, there will be 12, 24 or 60 CDRs respectively. Is it clear now? Are you getting it, Harshal, Ruchita?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, since most sequence variation associated with immunoglobulins and T cell receptors are found in the CDRs, these regions are sometimes referred to as hypervariable region. Whatever the sequence variation within the variable region is mostly observed within this complementarity determining region. Once again, I will make it clear that even though we specify that these are the variable region, complete sequence or complete amino acid sequence is not totally different from each amino acid, each antibody molecule or in each T cell receptor. So, the overall sequence variation that is associated with the B cell receptor or immunoglobulin and T cell receptor, this is mostly found within this complementarity determining region. So, these complementarity determining regions or CDRs are many a times referred as hypervariable region. Now, within the variable domain, CDR1 and CDR2 are found in the variable region. So, overall, there are three variable, there are three CDR sequences or regions, that is CDR1, CDR2 and CDR3. Now, the CDR1 and CDR2, these are found in the variable region of the polypeptide chain. That means in case of each polypeptide chain, that is light as well as heavy chain, within that variable domain, the CDR1 and CDR2 are present. And CDR3 includes sum of variable region, all of diversity, that is DH regions and JH region. So now you know that overall the genes responsible for encoding the heavy chain are VH, DH and the JH region. While in case of light chain it is VL and JL region. Okay, no JL. In case of heavy chain only, the VH, DH and JH regions are there. So the CDR3 sequences, whatever the amino acids that are included in this CDR3, some of these amino acid sequences are present within the variable region, some are present in the DH region and some are present in the JH region. So the CDR3 is most variable. So if we compare the sequence variation in the CDR, CDR1, CDR2 and CDR3, we have mentioned already that almost the sequence variation is observed in the complementarity determining region. But again, if we compare the sequence variation, the CDR3 is most variable. The most variable portion of immunoglobulin molecule is the third complementarity determining region, that is CDR3 of the heavy chain. Okay, so the heavy chain which is having the CDR3 molecule or CDR3 region, it shows the most variable portion of immunoglobulin. That means it consists of the most sequence variation, or it exerts the amino acid sequence variation, that is maximum. This is simply because CDR3 encompasses the region of the rearranged gene where the three gene segments VH, DH and JH are joined. So whenever this CDR3 is formed, that means the third complementarity determining region of the heavy chain is formed, it encompasses the regions of the rearranged genes. So most of the key, whenever there is the gene rearrangement occur, the gene rearrangement of the VH, DH and JH, it is collectively covering the CDR3 sequence. So the most variable portion of immunoglobulin molecule is the third complementarity determining region, that is CDR3 of the heavy chain. Now this is because the CDR3 encompasses the region of the rearranged gene where the three gene segments VH, DH and JH are joined. The CDR3 loops are located in the center of the paratope and play a crucial role in the peptide recognition. So among these three CDR, that is among these three complementarity determining region, that is CDR1, CDR2 and CDR3, the CDR3 are located in the center of the paratope. Obviously, as these are located within the center of the paratope, these are the crucial in the peptide recognition. So what type of the sequence of the epitope will be recognized by the paratope, that is mainly decided by this CDR3. So it is mean that the CDR3 loops are located in the center of the paratope and they play a crucial role in the peptide recognition. Are you getting my point? That means the sequence or the numbering of CDR1, CDR2, CDR2, CDR3, it is not exactly in the sequence from the अमाइनो टर्मिनस. मतलब अमाइनो टर्मिनस से हम सीधा सीक्वेंस के तौर पे नहीं बोल सकते कि ये सीरियली है कि CDR1, CDR2 और CDR3 और सिंपली ये तीनों मिलके पैराटोप बनता है. तो ऐसी बात नहीं है. तो पैराटोप में सेंट्रल पे जो CDR है वो है CDR3. और ये जो एरिया है एक्चुअली पैराटोप का, जो एक्चुअली एपिटोप के साथ इंटरैक्ट होता है, तो जो एपिटोप का रिकॉग्निशन है, पेप्टाइड रिकॉग्निशन है, जो कि एक क्रूशियल स्टेप है जो स्पेसिफिसिटी मेंशन करता है या स्पेसिफिसिटी डिसाइड करता है पर्टिकुलर एंटीबॉडी मॉलिक्यूल की. So overall, the specificity of an antibody molecule, it depends on the peptide recognition. Now, that peptide recognition is mainly dependent on the CDR3. Why? Because the CDR3, it is located within the center of paratope. So overall, we can say that whenever there is the antigen antibody interaction, the peptide recognition is mainly decided by the CDR3. So broadly speaking, it is dependent on the paratope. Broadly speaking, it is dependent on the complementarity determining region. But more specifically, it is dependent on the CDR3 loops. Is it clear? मतलब जब भी कॉम्प्लीमेंट हम एंटीजन
Yes, ma'am.
एंटीबॉडी इंटरेक्शन की बात करते हैं तो पूरा एंटीजन और पूरा एंटीबॉडी तो इंटरेक्ट नहीं होता. तो ये इंटरेक्शन किसके बीच में होता है? पैराटोप और एपिटोप. सो जो भी ये एंटीजन एंटीबॉडी की स्पेसिफिसिटी है वो किस चीज पे डिपेंडेंट है? वो पैराटोप और एपिटोप के इंटरेक्शन में. तो पैराटोप एंटीजन की डिटर्मिनेंट के साथ तभी इंटरेक्ट होगा जब उसका पेप्टाइड रिकॉग्निशन होगा. अब पैराटॉप में कौन कौन आता है? तो CDR1, CDR2 और CDR3. लेकिन CDR1, CDR2, CDR3 में मोस्ट सीक्वेंस वेरिएशन किस में है? तो वो CDR3 है. और ये जो CDR3 है वो पैराटॉप के बीच में है. तो जब पैराटॉप पेप्टाइड रिकॉग्निशन करता है किस चीज के लिए? एंटीजन बाइंडिंग के लिए या एपिटोप बाइंडिंग के लिए, तो वो पेप्टाइड रिकॉग्निशन मेनली डिसाइड होता है CDR3 लूप के सीक्वेंस के ऊपर. सो this is the meaning of this one sentence, that CDR3 loops are located in the center of the paratope and play a crucial role in the peptide recognition. So overall, complementarity determining regions that are present within the variable region of each and every antibody molecule that are actually responsible for the specificity in the antigen recognition. And more specifically, among the three CDR, the CDR3 is crucial for the peptide recognition. Okay. Now, these CDRs are in direct contact with the antigen and are involved in binding antigen, while the framework regions support the binding of the CDRs to the antigen. Now we know that the variable region, it consists of the hypervariable region or the complementarity determining region and the framework region. Now it is not mean that framework regions are not having any role in the interaction with the antigen. But now actual interaction, that is the direct contact with the antigen, is via CDRs. So overall these three CDRs, that is three complementarity determining region, CDR1, CDR2 and CDR3, are in direct contact with the antigen, or more specifically these are in direct contact with the epitope or antigenic determinant, and these are involved in the binding of the antigen. Okay, while the framework regions that support the binding of the CDR to the antigen. So whatever the binding of CDR to the epitope is there, that is supported by the remaining area or the remaining amino acid sequence from the variable region, that is the framework region. Now the CDRs help in maintaining the overall structure of the four variable domains on the antibody. So overall there are four variable domains, two from the light chain and two from the heavy chain. Now the variable domains, the overall structure of these four variable domains on the antibody, it is maintained by the CDR. So the complementarity determining regions, that is CDR1, CDR2 and CDR3, help in maintaining the overall structure of the four variable domains on the antibodies. So to increase the stability of the CDRs, the framework region has less variability in its amino acid sequences compared to the CDR. Now, if there is overall sequence variation in all, that is the hypervariable region as well as the framework region, then there will be no any kind of stability in the antigen recognition, no any kind of stability between the epitope and paratope interaction. But it doesn't happen because the sequence variation is mainly restricted to the variable region or hypervariable region, while the framework region are comparatively having the comparatively constant sequences. So to increase the stability, its stability means the stability of the complementarity determining region. So the stability of the complementarity determining region, the framework region has less variability in its amino acid sequence. No doubt, there is a sequence variation in the variable region, but if we compare the sequence variation, there is comparatively less variability in the framework region, comparatively more sequence variation in the CDR1 and CDR2, and comparatively maximum sequence variation is there in the CDR3. So, to increase the stability of complementarity determining regions, the framework region has less variability in its amino acid sequences compared to the CDR. दैट मीन्स सीडीआर से कंपेयर करके जो सीक्वेंस वेरिएशन है, अमाइनो एसिड सीक्वेंस का जो वेरिएशन है वो सीडीआर के कंपेयर में हाइपर फ्रेमवर्क रीजन में काफी कम है. क्यों? क्योंकि इसकी वजह से सीडीआर की स्टेबिलिटी और उसी तरीके से जो एंटीबॉडी मॉलिक्यूल है उसकी स्टेबिलिटी मेंटेन होती है. लेकिन जो पैराटोप है या जो कॉम्प्लीमेंटेरिटी डिटरमाइनिंग रीजन है वो मेंटेन करते हैं. क्या मेंटेन करते हैं? ओवरऑल स्ट्रक्चर जो रहता है एंटीजन बाइंडिंग रीजन का या वेरिएबल रीजन का वो मेंटेन करते हैं सीडीआर. So this is all about the complementarity determining region. These are the few stretches of amino acids that show actually the sequence variation within the variable region. Matlab these are very small fragments or these are very small stretches of amino acid, but actually these are the key sequences to determine the specificity of the antigen peptide recognition of the antigen, specificity of antigen antibody interaction, and in short these are responsible for the specificity of whole antibody immune response or the humoral immune response. Matlab broadly speaking, to more specifically, we make a sentence that there is highly specificity in the humoral immune response. Now, why there is the specificity in the humoral immune response? Because there is specificity in the binding of antibody molecule to the antigen molecule. Making it more specific, there is a specificity in the interaction between the paratope and epitope. Again, more specifying, there is a specificity in the particular complementarity determining region that are having the sequence variation. मतलब अगर पैराटोप में अगर वेरिएबल रीजन में सीक्वेंस वेरिएशन नहीं होता तो जो भी अमीनो एसिड सीक्वेंस है हर एक एंटीबॉडी मॉलिक्यूल का सेम होता, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता. क्यों? क्योंकि वेरिएबल रीजन में सीक्वेंस वेरिएशन है. तो ये सीक्वेंस वेरिएशन किस चीज के लिए है? क्योंकि वो एक स्पेसिफिक एंटीजन को बाइंड हो सके. तो जिस तरीके से एंटीजेनिक डिटर्मिनेंट का पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन या उसका सीक्वेंस वेरी होता है, उस हिसाब से एंटीबॉडी मॉलिक्यूल के वेरिएबल रीजन का सीक्वेंस वेरी होता है. लेकिन ये अगर सीक्वेंस वेरी होता है तो ये चीज नहीं है कि वेरिएबल रीजन का पूरा सीक्वेंस वेरी होता है. तो वेरिएबल रीजन में भी कुछ ऐसे हॉटस्पॉट है जहाँ पे एक्चुअल सीक्वेंस वेरिएशन रहता है. तो ये जो हॉटस्पॉट है वो है कॉम्प्लीमेंटैरिटी डिटरमाइनिंग रीजन. लेकिन इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि बाकी का सीक्वेंस सेम ही है, लेकिन उसमें वेरिएशन तो है, लेकिन कॉम्प्लीमेंटरिटी डिटरमाइनिंग रीजन के हिसाब से वहां पे कम वेरिएशन है. अब कॉम्प्लीमेंटरिटी डिटरमाइनिंग रीजन कितने हैं? CDR1, CDR2, CDR3. अब ये तीनों में भी सीक्वेंस वेरिएशन तो है, लेकिन अगर हम कंपेयर करें तो CDR1 और CDR2 के कंपैरिजन में CDR3 में ज्यादा सीक्वेंस वेरिएशन है। और ये जो CDR3 है वो पैराटोप के बीचों बीच है। तो जो भी पेप्टाइड रिकॉग्निशन का स्पेसिफिसिटी है वो क्यों है? क्योंकि वो CDR3 का सीक्वेंस वेरिएशन है। So in short, the CDR3 or the complementarity determining regions are the crucial in the peptide recognition of the antigen, and that are actually responsible for the specificity of paratope epitope binding, specificity for antigen antibody binding, and specificity for the actual humoral immune response. So in that sense, even though this is a very short point, but this is a crucial for overall antibody mediated immune response or the humoral immune response and the specificity. Whenever we mention the adaptive immune response, the first and the most important attribute is that it is having the specificity. So this specificity of humoral immune response, it lies within the variable region, within the complementarity region, determining regions, and within that the CDR3. Okay, is it clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you
Yes,
are
ma'am.
not having any kind of doubt in this CDRs, that is complementarity determining region, where these are located and how actually these are responsible for the peptide recognition that is involved in the interaction of paratope and epitope. So paratope from the antibody molecule and epitope from the antigen. Then if you have marked your attendance, then you can leave the meeting. Thank you so much. Have a very good day.